Brilliant. Hello,
We are
everybody.
live.
We are indeed live. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome again to Code Lab with Google Cloud, where we're talking about databases this season. Oh my God, words are hard. If we haven't met before, my name is Mark Mandel. I tech lead developer relations for gaming on Google Cloud, but we're not talking about games today, actually. We are talking with, oh gosh, Daryl, I should have asked you how to pronounce your name before we got started.
It's Ducharme. It's Ducharme.
I am joined today by Daryl. Daryl, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us what we're working on today?
Yeah, so I am Daryl Ducharme. I am a North American developer advocate for Google Cloud.
Sweet.
And today we are going to be working on something. I actually kind of got asked a question about this in a recent couple of events I was doing, which is I'm trying to set up a vector store database and get some data into it and figure out all that stuff. And and this is actually the first time I've ever had to set up a database on the cloud myself. So a lot of times this stuff gets set up for me before I even get to stuff. So this should be a lot of fun. So
all right, so we're doing something with vector database, like what?
Yeah. So what I decided to do, because outside of my life as a developer advocate, I also do improv theater. So I thought,
which sounds like also a life as a developer advocate.
Yeah. So well, and that's why it works so well. And so I thought, hey, you know what would be fun is I'd really like to tap into the creativity of following improv principles, and how much can we do this with AI. And so I found a bunch of PDFs of like some different improv principles and stuff like that. And so we're going to see if we can get that far, we're going to see what kind of stuff we can get back if we can get it to sort of play with us, basically.
Gotcha. Okay. And we're I think we said when we said offline, like you were like, get it to like generate improv scenes, or are we just going to interact with it in an improv way, or just see what we can get by the end of the session?
I would like to see what we get to the end. I mean,
cool.
My original thing is more to get it to sort of interact with us in an improv way, as sort of a brainstorming tool, because I think that model is really helpful for brainstorming. So
all right, sweet.
Useful for people outside of improv. So,
all right, so where do you want to start?
All right. Well, the first thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to start by doing some sort of getting of database. There's a word that looks like.
Mind if I throw your screen on screen?
Oh yeah, please do. I have that. So
that's okay. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help. Make it lending hand.
Make it a little bit bigger too for people. Minimize that. We don't need that at the moment. And I wanted to, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I think I'm going to go with some Cloud SQL, probably a MySQL instance. So
so I'm gonna ask the silly question, which is I'm not even sure. I don't know how this AI stuff works, which is we're doing some vector something.
Right.
Why did you choose MySQL for this?
Well, to be honest, I chose MySQL for two reasons. One, that is what I am most familiar with in my previous database.
Good reason. Very good reason.
Two, I know I don't know if his episode is already up, but Gleb had a thing with the Postgres.
Yeah, he did some stuff with LODB.
So I wanted to try my best.
Something different.
To not overlap with him too much. So.
No, we did. The cool thing is, I mean, if we end up going the other way, if you haven't seen the previous episode, check it out. Gleb and I sat down, Gleb doing most of the work, obviously, trying to register different models with the database itself with LODB, but we didn't really do much processing on that side. So, but not to dissuade you from using MySQL, I just wanted to see what the thought process was there.
Yes, and this is just kind of the questions I get too, is like, hey, can we see the vector database in the back end? Like, how is this put together and stuff? And I'm like, I don't know how it was put together, because I didn't put together this demo that I'm running or something like that, And so it'd be nice to have a better idea of what kind of stuff I run into when I put this stuff together when people ask me. So I am going to choose, and I made sure that I could actually do stuff with it.
Okay.
So let's enable these APIs.
All right, let's do it. Let's see what we got. Dun, dun, dun. Compute Engine API. This one always takes a while.
Yeah, I always with the enabling APIs and stuff. I've done a lot of stuff with like the compute engine for workstations.
Yep.
And that takes some time. So especially when you have custom workstations they're trying to do. So
while that's spinning up, is there anything particular you want to look at in terms of documentation for?
Yeah, there was something I actually have here.
Ooh, what do we got here? Okay, cool.
This is a whole thing about working with vector embeddings with MySQL.
Okay, cool.
So, and it looks like it's currently in preview right now.
Okay.
So we'll see how well it goes.
Sweet. Always fun.
But yeah, this is what I was looking at, which is really great. And this is, I guess this is also a really good chance to kind of explain to people what is a vector database, vector store, because it was something that was new to me. Basically, the idea is this: you're storing vectors in a database like you imagine a vector from computer science in general, which is just a bunch of numbers in a certain number of dimensions. Though this is usually in the hundreds of dimensions. And these numbers represent what they call embeddings, which is when it is parsing text and stuff. These vectors represent where this exists in the world of this model. So like when you've got a model trained, it's like, okay, this is the value we give to this chunk of data here. And so then we can do basic math lookups on this table to find when we're trying to search for information from this table. And this is really helpful with working with AI because and what I've been talking about a lot lately is these RAG setups, which for right now my brain is laughing at me because it's like, yeah, I'm not going to let you remember this, but something augmented generation.
We can look that up.
Yeah. So
retrieval augmented generation.
That's right. Because basically what you're doing is retrieving some items that are going to give you more context for your lookup when you do any of this generative AI lookups and stuff. So a lot of times for general enterprises, putting in stuff for all the documentation you have on the services you do and stuff like that can help it so that you can build a system that uses your own documentation, your own bits of paperwork and brochures or whatever kind of documents you have, and use that to help provide answers for people through these AI agents that your enterprise might use and stuff like that. So it grounds the answers you get back in stuff that is actually relevant to why they're dealing with your company in the first place. Okay. So, yeah. So that's what a vector store is and how you use it with AI. But obviously, you can use a vector store not in AI just to get solutions for stuff and retrieval of these different content just from basic searches as well. So it's just a pattern, and yeah,
we're gonna see if we can do it.
So let's head back to the other page and see. Oh, we look like we're here.
There we go.
Okay, so let's call this improv school.
Improv school. Oh, I like it. Punny.
Let's not have a password. Oh,
No, you have to. Oh.
Let me. Without a
Dangerous.
respect. Yes.
Just for demo purposes, everybody. Don't use
Just
it in
for
production.
demo purposes, because otherwise I'm going to have to set up a password and try and remember it.
Yep.
And there's just going to be a sticky note at my desk.
No password of password?
Yeah, no password of password. I could do that.
Okay.
But that's pretty much the same thing as what I just did.
Yeah, true.
So Enterprise or Enterprise Plus, we can just use Enterprise, I think. I don't think there's any real reason. Choose a preset for this edition, production or development or sandbox. Well, we're just testing stuff, so let's start with a sandbox.
You're very kind. You're very kind to our cloud engineers. I'm just like, give me everything. Do it now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
I mean, it makes that like cloud privilege. I don't have to pay for it. So, there is that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm not paying for this. This is coming out, but I'm just like, you know what?
You're nice. You're nicer than them. That's what it is. I understand.
All right. So with that in mind, multiple zones. Now,
I'll that's funny. I'll ask one question actually, just because I'm curious. I don't think it'll actually matter. I'm seeing that like storage is about 10 gigabytes. We're probably not going to be putting more than 10 gigabytes of data into this, I assume, with like.
That's a very good point. I don't believe we should be putting in more than 10 gigabytes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, this is going to be some PDFs. I mean, if you're doing something in production, like 100 gigabytes, something like that, seems like a much better solution. It's just
let's put it up to development with that in mind.
Yes, use those cloud resources.
You got me there. That's a very good point. I mean, we're probably under that, but sometimes when you're doing vector stuff, you can need a good amount of memory, and we've got plenty of RAM there, so we're good now. Good. I won't have to worry about that. So when I was reading today about how to work with this, so all right, my improv school is getting prepared.
So you can start charging the big bucks for your improv school.
Yeah. Improv sequel, improv squeal. I don't know how we want to say this. But it's being created.
I'm giving scritches to my dog.
I once had a director that I worked with in improv who like really just did not like it when all these improv teams would always name their names with something with improv in the name.
It's like gRPC, right? Like redundancy.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, let's not add or just the word prov because it's like something prov. And I get it. It's less creative, but at the same time, nobody wants to. Naming things is hard.
Naming things is
very hard. As we've even seen at Google sometimes, like when we have to change names. So
I think improv sequel is good. Improv school. Yeah. All right, cool. So also I just I noticed you didn't do anything special to the database on creation time. You didn't have to do anything like that. It seems like you didn't.
I didn't see anything that I needed to do. So what what I will, while this is looking back, might want to think about what sort of things I'm going to want in the database. So usually what you need in the database is like you need something that obviously you need the vector itself. So you need in the table, one of the things I'm going to need is the vector itself for the item. Oh, let's make sure I'm actually writing things down. And then, but what are we actually tracking? Because it's not enough to just track that. We need to actually chase. And I think all of the stuff I grabbed is text only. So I'm going to just start with text only rather than anything multimodal with graphics or anything like that anyways. Yep. So probably just some information about the chunk. So like what the file is, what the page number is, maybe. I don't know if that'll get that. And then the chunk text, maybe that'll be, so it's like 4 Just only those 4 things in the table for that. So kind of
Okay, so
table.
this is like for got it. You know, it's funny for whatever reason. I mean, I haven't touched databases in so long. It's still like you're like it's still just like a traditional database. It's just something with rows and columns to a degree.
Yeah, and that was something that like I totally understood the concept of it, but I was like, oh, is there something special to it? But no, it's just in the fact there is sort of something special in that there are tools now developed so that you can work with these vectors and do queries on them now, or so like extensions and stuff usually to do these queries on them. But it's not. It's still just data. It's still, I mean, for what I was reading, the tool that we use in MySQL is just using basically a text representation of the vectors, and then it's got some comments and stuff for indexing it, and then it does some work so that there's an extension so it can do that. So it's like, okay, that's interesting. So yeah, so that's what I think we're going to do. So while we'll do this, so now I kind of have an idea.
This is because you created such a big database, which I blame you for entirely, and I had nothing to do with whatsoever.
Right, like if I only had 2 CPUs and 10
probably be done by
gigabytes,
now. Yeah, exactly.
it would be done, but because it's
entirely my fault.
Yeah,
I encouraged you to go big.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, stuff takes time, and that's okay. I know, like for a lot of demonstrations that I do, we do whatever we can to take away all of this sort of the stuff that takes away from the concepts we're trying to teach people. So it's like waiting is totally the worst thing, especially for neurodivergent brains like mine, where it's like, okay, so we're creating backups. It's beginning to create.
All right, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we actually, just because I'm curious, I'm going to ask you questions because I can. I noticed you creating MySQL 8. Is there a particular? Do you have to have that version to do this vector stuff?
I don't know. That's a great question. Let's see if it says anything about this.
I assume there's no later version. I don't even know what MySQL versions are.
Yeah, I don't. It's been a while. I mean, honestly, I hadn't even looked at that, but that's a very good question. But it's like, before you get in, you must be running Cloud SQL for MySQL version 8.036 R20240401 or later. So
okay. So I'm assuming if you specified MySQL 8, that is, you're going to get the latest one. That would.
I hope so, or else we're going to run into some problems, and we'll see those, and that'll be interesting.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, but that was a great question. It's done. Okay, it is done. So
what's the next step?
Now, to connect, we've got this. Need help connecting. Yeah. So what do we want? All right. So now what's next? How do I
don't know. What is next? What do you?
How do I connect to my instance?
There's a Cloud SQL Studio. Is that a thing you can use?
Yeah. Let's see. There's MySQL. No.
You can't use root. Why can't you use root? That's just rude.
Root is not supported.
A different database. Do you need to create a database on the database?
Yeah, I mean, I would, but that's what I want to do. So, okay, so databases. Let's just see here.
Here we go. Here we go.
Okay. So
Improv School.
Well, Improv School, and we'll have the what do we want to call this database? The knowledge. We'll call it the knowledge vectors.
Okay.
Even though, or knowledge table. We'll call it the knowledge table because vectors are only part of the table. Well, this is a database and there'll be a table within it. So,
It's fine.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
All right. So we got the
now let's
knowledge
see.
table. Now let's see if we can do this. Knowledge table. All
There
right.
we go.
User. Root is still not supported.
But why? All right. So can we give it a user?
Yeah.
I see there's users thing.
Users. All right. Let's add a user account.
Unless you have like a database ID you like to use or something like that you want to plug in. I don't know.
Yeah. Choose how to authenticate. Cloud IAM. And oh geez, what is my
You've got a
yeah, I've got this big long thing.
Still let you. All right, let's find out.
Copy.
Cool.
All right, where were we? Users, add user account, Cloud IAM, principal, add. Okay, username. Okay,
so
let's
in
go.
Siri, let's see. Let's go. What happens?
Let's go to our knowledge table. Our user is.
Can
I?
It hates you.
It does. It does. Let's see if I have to reload the site here. If it'll. Nope, it's still only wondering about.
No. Maybe you need to create an actual user with a password.
Yeah, let's try that. Add user account, built-in authentication. We
may find out that Cloud SQL Studio is not going to do what we want it to do, but that's a whole other thing. We'll find out.
And we're going to use a password of password. What
does Cloud SQL Studio do?
All right. So
explore data.
So, okay, let's see. Knowledge table, spoiler diacra.
Magic password.
Yes.
Hey!
Yeah, let's add it. Let's add some tables. Create a table.
Ooh, look at that. Magic.
Yeah, so we want to create some knowledge on the knowledge table.
Seems very reasonable.
Yeah, so gonna want an ID like we always want for this kind of stuff. And I said we want the text, and we'll call it the content, and we'll make that text, and we want we'll call it the file, and I don't like that this isn't filling in, so, but it is text, so.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah, and then we want the.
Though, admittedly, have not touched a database in Angular in a very long time.
I totally understand, and this is going to be an it.
Do you have to specify the length of the varchar?
Usually you do, or I used to.
There we go. Now it's not complaining anymore. Okay.
There we go.
255. Oh my god, that takes me. Yeah, like why specifically 255? I can't remember, but I do remember writing 255.
That's like the highest the varchar can be.
Oh, is that
yeah,
because
it's what? What's that? 8 bits?
Oh my god, I'm gonna look
2 to the 8th, I think, or
car type from 0 to 65,000 now. I think is you can have some pretty big varchars apparently.
Okay, good. And then what do I do to make the ID? There's something I gotta do.
Oh no, sorry, I'm lying. That's a car. Anyway, sorry, not actually important. Please continue what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm trying to remember again, like, how do I set the ID as the as the thing that
Oh,
the
you want to like
index.
have it to be?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. I've got.
Is it just index?
Create table statement. Here we go. You can. Where do you do indexes?
Index ID, something like that.
Is that not like a primary key thing in a create table?
Primary key. Those are the.
I remember stuff. Look at me.
Primary key. Key equals ID. No. ID.
Oh, what's up, Bubba?
Okay. Setting the primary key. SQL primary key. Constraint. Awesome. Okay.
Give me an example documentation. I don't think you have to do that if it's already primary key, but okay.
Yeah.
I think it is actually constraint primary key.
Constraint primary key.
Nope, I lied.
Liar.
If only we had some kind of tool built into the thing as
Hey,
like
look.
Gemini or something.
Yeah, look at this.
Oh, SQL completion. Yeah, do that. That's better.
Yeah. Help me code. I want to create a table with content text row file varchar page int and did I not write
and a primary key? You just write and a primary. Oh, you want a vector embedding or something?
And embeddings vector column and using an ID row as primary key. Spent like half the year talking about using Gemini for this kind of stuff, and then I didn't do it. So knowledge table dot knowledge ID not all right.
Let's give it a shot. It says insert. Whoa.
How about boom?
You got two.
Yeah.
Somehow you ended up with a couple of extras after the pasting. Here, that line. I think you'll be
there. We go.
It is not 100% happy.
No, it doesn't like this comma. Syntax error near primary.
Pull that. Yeah, pull that up. I was gonna say that looks bad. Oh, there needs to be a comma after that vector.
I just took the comma out. It was yelling at the comma.
Embedding vector. Something about the vector data type doesn't look right.
Yeah, let's take a look at my other sheet. Here. What do we want? Let's see.
How do I create? Thank you, Stack Overflow. How do you create it?
var binary. Okay.
Oh, that's weird. Someone's like, store it in JSON. I'm like, that doesn't seem right. Yeah, there was, just out of curiosity, there was that document you were looking at before with the whole page.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything in that gave you some indication of where you need to go? Like,
yeah, they said that the special vector embedding column maps to the var binary data type. So that's what we said.
Okay, there we go.
So that's what we're going to do. Now, once we get stuff working, we're going to have to set up some instances or some database flags and stuff like that. So, but we haven't gotten there yet. We're just still setting up the table.
Yep.
So, but it still doesn't like the primary key. Do I not need primary if it's just a
you'll
key?
still need a comma after var binary too.
Really?
Yeah. Need primary key, exactly.
Now it does want the word primary. Okay.
It does want the primary.
All right. But no. It doesn't like that.
Knowledge, ID, int not null. That looks right. Actually, what was that? Int primary key. ID. That looks right.
It does look right. So
whatever. Just run it. I want to see what it fails on.
Yeah, it's good. Good call.
Okay. SQL syntax.
Okay, so comma, chameleon.
Does anyone in chat see anything that we're not seeing?
Yeah, that would be great because
I'll crowdsource this. Do we have to do anything to enable var binary? Oh, is that something we have to do?
Yeah, it's a good question. To enable var binary. Cool, var binary.
What you looking at?
I am trying to look at something on var binary, but let's go MySQL var binary enable.
I did see something on that page you were on before, and it did say something like enable.
There is down to,
but I don't know. Yeah, this
configure instance to support vector embeddings. And what this does is it sets up the flags to use the vectors, basically to take that field and use the vector.
Okay, so it doesn't seem like that is the thing we have to do at this stage. We probably do that later.
Yeah, I would think so. So yeah, let's see if I can.
I'm still here. I need to give my dog a treat. She's staring at me with.
Yeah. Okay. Here we're gonna. We're gonna see. What is the syntax error in this SQL see what it says. We'll ask Gemini. I'm not able to write it. Well, that's too bad because that's not as helpful. All right.
Areas into corresponding by SQL version for the Snakes primary key ID. See, that looks right. Out of curiosity, if you take off the line that says var binary, does it work? Like if you delete line 7,
yeah, that's a good. It does seem to.
So it's something about var binary.
Yeah.
Do we have to put a length on a var binary?
Oh, that's a good.
Given like varchar you do, so do you have to with a var binary?
That's.
I'll just give it a value and see what happens. We'll need a comma.
Yeah, for some reason it put the comma in the other position because, of course, it did.
There we go.
There we go.
So, what is a appropriate var
Yes.
binary size?
Yeah.
It's bytes. Okay, var binary is bytes. How big is the data you want to put in there? I guess
for embeddings. What size to make it? Okay, this is not helpful.
No.
It's about
ask Gemini.
Yeah, let's see if they can. It's a good size var binary column for embeddings vectors.
That being said, we could always just make it some arbitrary value, and if you can't insert it because it's too big, they'll complain.
Okay.
It's like, depends.
Yeah, of course, which is fine. So let's just make it large.
Let's make it large. It's bytes, so
yeah.
What's that?
That sounds good for now.
Where's that 1024?
Okay, and let's run this.
Basically a kilobyte. You want to create it as a kilobyte.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Okay.
And I have run it. Do we have a table now?
Yes, we do. Oh my God.
We have tables. We have columns.
We have tables. We have indexes.
All right. So now the question is, now how can we get, let's see.
We have to get the data in there, right?
We have to get the data in there. So this other article that's on the same page, which is build LLM powered applications using LangChain, is got some stuff for that. So,
you said a bunch of words. I don't know what they mean. If that's
all right. So, so LangChain is a they actually say it. What is LangChain? LangChain is an orchestration framework that helps developers build generative AI applications or retrieval augmented generation workflows. So
it sounds like we're going to have to write some code.
Yeah, we're going to have to write some code, which is awesome. So what we need to do is we'll need to install the LangChain and so to work with vector store, use the MySQL vector store class. All right.
Cool.
So how do we do this? There's a guide for vector store. Well, let's take a look at that. Oh, it looks like it's one of these notebooks, one of these.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. That's not what we want to do, though. We want to actually do it. So we're going to have to read and then apply. So
How's your Python?
my Python is okay.
My Python is terrible.
Yeah. I do not code in Python hardly at all. So
Are there other LangChains in other languages, or we don't want to go down that path? That seems hard. I'm just being an agent of chaos, I feel today.
Yeah, well, more information. Learn how to use LangChain with the LangChain Quick Start for Cloud SQL for MySQL. What's this one? Is this another notebook? Yes. Okay. Well, let's give it a go nonetheless, because why not be an agent of chaos?
Uh-oh. What have I done?
Oh, I know. Restore this. And let's come. Okay, so we're already not doing stuff right. Exit.
Don't think you need that percentage at the front. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that's what it is. So if we do this and then well, we're in, why are we in Python 2.7? Well, that's not good.
Does it have a pip3?
Yeah, that's a good call.
I know that much about Python. Something is happening.
Yay. So now we are doing something in the background.
Something is happening. Oh.
That was just me switching screens.
I got excited for no reason.
Yeah. Oh, we're done with that step.
Nice.
All right. So let's see. Which one did I choose? I've got like multiples of these open. So okay, let's just work on one at a time here. All right, so let's okay. Okay, we're not in that, so we're not in there, so guess though what we want to do is actually go into Python itself. So we're working.
Don't want like a little like a file or something that you can edit, or you want to do this all in like an interactive terminal? That's living on the edge. It's impressive.
That's what I do. I live on the edge.
Do your thing. I like it.
He says, not really living on the edge. I'll just accept that I live on the edge.
Do it. I love this.
Okay, we're not going to worry about. We're not in Colab. That's right. I didn't need to do that. So, all right. So what we need to do is my project ID. I need to fill in this stuff.
It might actually be a variable, but that's okay.
Yeah.
What on earth?
Okay, I've already configured my cloud project, so that's fine. I don't need to do that.
I was going to say the stuff that's got the exclamation point in front of it. I assume that's
just running actual. Yeah, okay. Exactly. Yeah. So, but now we're setting current user. So That's going to be inside of it. So let's start to just build this. Oh, since we're going to be using project ID over and over again, let's set
it as a variable.
Yeah, set it as a variable. Once again, please fill in these values. Okay. And we want it to be cloud-live-s2-e3. All right, good. Okay, project status active, project ID, current user. Okay. Oh, I see what's happening here. Okay. We are going to make sure my user has the appropriate things. Valid syntax. Of course it is.
It doesn't like you at all.
It doesn't.
Also, that do you want to? Should we? What? I'm so confused about what's bash and what's
exactly.
What's not. Or should you just open up a new tab that's your bash tab and have another tab that's your Python tab? Would that be easier?
Yeah, let's do that. So make sure that's set.
That's already set. That's already.
Yeah, I mean it's there, but I just want to make sure.
It's fair. It's fair. That's fair.
Let's. So, all right. So we are, let's see something. This is just fun. All right. Make sure that we're in the right place. So once again, does not like that external sort of thing, but
or do you want to just take the gcloud thing and put it somewhere?
Yeah.
Why do you need your current user?
Because it's what it's trying. Well, we'll do it outside of this, because what it's trying to do is make sure I have the right permissions for something. So.
Okay.
So, okay, yeah, that's what I thought it was. So now we're going to. Oh, Jason. This is why I don't like doing notebooks, even though it's like the standard of stuff, because everybody's like, it doesn't show you how to do stuff enough. So it's like, okay, so my project is cloud live s2-e3.
I'm also fairly sure inside there is actually an environment variable for your current project. I just can't remember what the environment variable is.
Yeah, sure.
Do what you feel is right there.
That, my feelings may not be very good feelings for this. Okay, ddusharm at cloudadvocacy.org.unix.net, and make sure we have Cloud SQL client role. Okay, wonderful. That appears to have gone over. Let's make sure our Google APIs are enabled. We'll just do all of these ones outside of in Bash. Maybe that's what that is, just saying do this
I
in
assume
Bash.
that's what that is. Yeah, it's just like run it in Bash rather than run in Python.
Yeah. So we're going to run this in Bash.
Yes, that would make sense. Okay, so we do need Vertex to be running. This makes sense. This makes sense.
So now we need to create a MySQL instance, which we
So
have
we did all
done.
that. We did all that. We did all that. We did that.
Did that.
All right. So importing data. This is where it gets interesting.
Yes. So this is just importing SQL into there.
Yeah, boring.
Boring. Not what I
Boring.
want. I want documents.
Yeah.
Okay. From LangChain. I actually have data in your database, but I don't.
It's okay. We don't want to do that anyway.
Okay. Let's look at this. This is trying to set up project ID, database name. Okay, this is looking at the titles, and that's doing that. And this is taking oh, there we go. Cloud SQL use case 2, Cloud SQL for MySQL as a vector store. Okay,
there we go.
All right. Init vector store table. Vector size 768.
So I'm guessing that's creating
Yeah,
the
this
table.
is
So we have our own table.
we have our own table.
We have our own table because we're cool like that.
Try inserting documents into the table.
Ah.
Okay. This is where we want to get to. So where do we get the documents from? Documents.
So what are we doing? First, they did enable some stuff. They create this vector store.
So this is where they're loading the documents from. And their table name, which is Netflix titles.
Interesting. So if I'm understanding this correctly, I'm not sure if I am, but that's right. In this particular example, I think they're just taking text out of a different table and putting it into this table. Whereas you want to you've got a bunch of PDFs you want to load.
Yes, I wanted to import a bunch of PDFs. So how do we do that is what I'm looking at.
My gut, which could be completely wrong. I wonder if we have to run it through like some of our like OCI stuff to pull all the text out of it.
That's possible.
But I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong.
Right. So in the past, let me take a look at something else. Since we're here in the Google APIs, GitHub sort of thing.
Yep.
Let's actually we want to be let's see what we got here. I think there were some other ones that I think I was actually in the Google Cloud APIs. Nope.
Dun, dun.
So Google Cloud APIs. There we go.
And I'm guessing actually, well, the other thought, I don't know.
The other thought.
The other thought is like you load the PDF into the database as like bytes.
Yeah, I know I had done this somewhere this weekend. So, or in a recent event. So I wanted to see if I could find the actual.
How someone else had done it.
Yeah, how somebody else had done it. And just got so many repos that it's like looking through.
Because Cloud Vision will give us all the text in a PDF.
Right. So Google Cloud Platform, and we want
Document AI. Apparently, Document AI is the one we want. I guess
that's a possibility. I just feel like there was something else that we did. So
or can we do it through the data bits? I don't know. I'm throwing knives in the dark.
Because I think like what we've got to do is upload the documents to like a bucket of some sort.
That would make sense.
So let's do that. So we want cloud storage buckets.
That all seems very reasonable so far.
Yeah. So create. Name your doc. Improdocs. Continue. Multi-region, dual region. Let's just stay in the same region. Yeah, so we're choosing, I chose a standard storage class because that's what we are, but this is where you choose like how you're going to like how often you're going to get into the data. So like it's got different pricing for read versus write. So this is how you change stuff. So archive is for stuff you're probably never going to read, but you're usually legally obligated to hold it. Cold line is just disaster recovery. Hope you never need it. And then nearline is, stuff that you read much less often. And standard is read and write a lot. So we're going to just stay with standard for now, just because it's simpler. We're going to go with uniform permissions and how to protect soft delete. Sure, that's fine, since I'm probably going to delete the entire project when I'm done anyways. So we will say that. Enforce public access prevention on this bucket. Yeah, that's fine. I don't want the people looking at these impro docs that I spent half an hour trying to find on the internet. So we're going to upload files from my desktop here, and upload started. One of these was even when I was going through, one of these was an actual research paper on improv helping with creativity. So I said that absolutely needs to go in here. Yes. So it was like a scientific research paper on it. So I didn't read it myself, but that's why I want AI to read it for me.
Gotcha.
So 7 files successfully uploaded. So those are in a bucket. So what we want to do is get create embeddings from PDF and Google Cloud.
Cool.
Get text embeddings. That sounds exactly what we want. So
something Python.
Something Python. Okay, so learn how to install our Vertex AI SDK. So that sounds more right. I think I was doing it with the Vertex AI SDK. So So get text embedding for a snippet of text. Okay. But I want to make sure. There's. Okay, let me look up the word PDF. It's not even on this page.
No.
That does not help me.
Yeah, I was digging around too. Excuse me. Oh my God. My voice just broke. And it didn't seem obvious to me how to do this as well.
It did not seem obvious to me.
This is where I feel like I would lean on something like Document AI or whatever it is we have these days to just like yoink all the text out of the PDFs.
Mm-hmm. And maybe that is correct. So I think you're right. So let's.
I don't know the right way to do that.
Yeah. So let's.
Which is actually interesting that like OpenAI has one. I just noticing that on the search, and I'm kind of curious to see how they do it. Convert PDF files into text into embeddings.
Yeah. So they do it via what? Two different. I mean, they're doing it via LangChain, which makes sense. That's what we're trying to do.
Right.
So, and that's how I've done it with Vertex and LangChain. So under the hood. So these are names that I have used in my talks.
Okay.
So.
All right. It is LangChain is relatively agnostic, like it's model agnostic. Is that kind of the point?
Yes. No? LangChain is model agnostic. You pass those things. You tell it what model you're using, and it works with that stuff. So,
what does document loader mean? What is that?
Document loader. Let's see what it says it means.
LangChain. Okay, so it does say load documents from a table. So it's like just yeah. I'm definitely leaning towards something needs to process these PDFs.
Absolutely, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. So let's see what I've done in the past. Just to go somewhere completely else is into. Is it not? Where's?
Oh, here we go. So LangChain does have a portable document, like a PDF loader.
Mm-hmm.
Can we use that? I'm looking at LangChain here. I'm gonna send this to you in private chat. You can decide what you want to do with it. There's our private chat window. I don't know if you want to open that. As you know, over on the right of our box, we have a private chat window. Now it is admittedly, I think from there using OpenAI, but in theory, the process should be the same, right? Like there's an online PDF loader.
Right.
I don't know if we need a different type of loader or like pull in the PDF from whatchamacallit, download it using some sort of Python GSUtil or something like that. But like in theory, that seems like
this is
you might want to do.
Preparing data. This is kind of what we're trying to do. All right. So what I've done in the past, when we go to language, see, make sure that's the right one. Vector search. This is what I want. You don't have any indexes in this region yet. So this is actually a new index. What would it need? So it's a small number stuff. So there's different algorithms you can use. There's the tree AH for larger, but there's only a small number of documents. So a brute force algorithm would probably work. We display this improv index. Everything's going to be improv index.
Yeah.
Dimensions. How many do you want? Let's do 768. That seems to be one I use a lot.
Magical number.
Yeah, I'm fine with a magical number for now. And approximate neighbors count. Any advanced options? What do we got? Nothing that. Let's see if we can just. Files include. Okay. It's one.
Doesn't like PDFs.
Well, learn more about data formatting. Okay, cloud storage buckets.
CSV, JSON, or Avro.
Okay, so maybe that's supposed to have other information first. So maybe we're supposed to create. All right, well then. Let's go back to here and let's go to a text prompt and let's see if I can.
You didn't like my idea of using the Python LangChain PDF?
I like it, but
you think there's an easier way?
I hope there's an easier way. How about that?
Okay.
Okay. So I wanted to see some things that I've done recently at stuff and see if I can remember the stuff. So, okay, this usually just. Okay, let's go back to your solution here. So let's get back into.
So we have a code lab I just found with Vertex AI Search. From a cloud, use Vertex AI Search, but I think that's more of a very specific. Like Vertex AI Search is not. It's not kind of what you want to do. You want to use the MySQL stuff.
Yeah, we're trying to create the vector. I mean, see, I think this was the question that I was being asked, and I didn't have a good answer for, which is basically, can we find out more about the compute engine? Is this going to be? Why is this so hard?
What are you looking for?
I'm trying to find my databases again.
SQL.
Okay, there we go.
SQL.
I gotta look up SQL, not database.
Yeah.
There we go. It's not hard. It's just I didn't know what to look up. Okay, so so I didn't, I'm trying to figure out, okay, so what do we do under the hood though? Because we kind of had these solutions to stuff that were in the background. So let's take a look at what you did here. So we've got to install py.pdf. Let's see how this goes. pip3 install py.pdf. It's already.
I'm actually almost wondering if that's just. Yeah, it's a library just for pulling text out of a PDF.
Mm-hmm. So, and what we did was now we need to get this stuff out of the bucket. So how are we going to load stuff from a bucket?
Oh, interesting. Okay, so actually looking at this page, which no one else can see. I don't know if you want to show what it is we're looking at.
Yeah.
It does seem like realistically, it's not actually part per se of LangChain, but it's just like a common enough thing that someone's like, okay, I'm just going to show you how to use this PyPDF library to load data into a document. So we could in theory use some of our PDF processing libraries if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Or we could do something like this. Whatever's probably, you know what, I would go with whatever's easy at this point.
Yeah, exactly. So let's do a search here, like of get embeddings from PDF files. Ask your documents. That's on the blog. Let's see what the blog says. Okay, so this is basically what we're trying to do here. So we're trying to use document AI to get the embeddings into our vector store. So this is visually what we are trying to do. So
Docker scan PDFs are sent to document AI for OCR processing and text extraction.
Yes, that is correct. That is what we are looking to do. Extract this text to set to the text embedding Gecko model.
You can follow along in this notebook. It's another notebook.
This is why I don't like notebooks. Copying files from the GCS bucket to local storage. Okay, well, we'll start here. I hate this multi-line copying stuff. I know it's good, but all right, so we are right here, and before we need to get I'm going to open another thing so I don't lose my, let's go back to console.cloud and let's go to buckets, cloud storage, and let's see, go to path. Oh, that's not what I want. I want the path. It's the path.
Might be in the kebab menu. Oh, that could work too. GSM Pro Docs, that's what you want.
There we go. And we'll go back here. So it's just Impro Docs.
And you don't want that exclamation point.
Yeah, I just noticed that myself.
Nice.
Wrong number of arguments for the CP command.
Do you need like --/ or something?
Yeah. Okay. I
think you just pushed everything up.
I think I did. I think I did it in the wrong direction. So let's. Okay, let's go back to our buckets here. And what do we got going on here?
Yeah.
Nothing's
Refresh
there.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, show. I have a non-current. Okay.
Okay, that's weird.
Say,
do you have those files locally?
Yes, I do. But not locally. I mean, I have them local to this computer.
Local in Cloud Shell, I mean. Do you have them local?
No, I don't have them local in Cloud Shell.
Let's look. Have a look.
What?
Let's ls. Let's see if you actually have it there.
That's a good point.
All right, I'm all on. Let's make dir a new folder.
Yeah.
And have somewhere to work.
Impro docs.
Cool.
There we
looks
go.
better.
Yeah, so now we go CD, ls, CD, doing too many things at once.
That works.
And okay, there they are.
Okay.
Too deep in. Okay. All right. So now back to ask your documents. Okay. So this is in Python. And we wanted was there anything I needed to set up first? No. Okay. The document AI processor takes a PDF or image file as input. So we're going to take the document AI. So this is basically project. This is just defining a method. So this is fine. So let's go once again over here. This annoying. It's not liking the
Gonna say, are we sure we definitely don't want to do a file at some point? Just edit on a file.
No, I think we absolutely do want to do a file. So I think we absolutely do want to do a file. So let's
all right, we got an impro docs folder. Nice.
Yeah, and we've got impro docs folder.
So we can write a Python file in there.
Yeah, let's do a new file inside the parent there. So we'll do parse PDFs.
Sure.
.py. Yeah. All right. So where were we? Asking our documents things. All right. So what we're doing, this is taking a project ID, location, process array, and splitting it up. Wonderful.
All right. Now it looks like we need to define the project ID, location, and processor display name, I guess.
Yeah, this is just defining the function for creating a processor.
But from line 19 forward, like those variables need to be set somewhere.
Yeah, they get set right here.
But when you call it on line 20, where do those variables
come? I
from?
see.
Yeah.
I see. It's no wonder it didn't work before. We were trying here.
Yeah.
So the project ID. Project ID equals, and what is the project? It is Cloud Live.
Something like that.
Cloud Live Season 2, Episode 3. And processor display name. Location equals US West 1. I'll just start there. Processor display display name equals. Well, let's see what it says.
Cool.
Good processor name. Could follow along in this notebook. Let's see if it's got some thing about what it's putting.
There's a document.
US.
Yeah, I see. It's got that stuff there. Yeah.
My processor. Okay. I'll call it my processor. My processor. That's awesome. Okay.
We need one of those.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Does that need to be at the top, or does that get interpreted in Python as it goes?
I'm pretty sure it gets interpreted as it goes, because this is just
Okay.
basically like defining the function, and then this is.
I guess we'll find out too. All right. Cool. Cool.
All right.
Oh, this is just creating the processor, so we're not even like doing anything else yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
It's just not the end of the world. There's a try catch there. If we rerun the file, then it'll give us back
Right.
a thing, I guess. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Anyway.
So let's open the terminal again. CD impro docs Python 3 and parse py.
Document
not defined. Awesome. I should have to import.
This should be like an import something, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I see the section of the top. No, keep going.
Yeah.
Next section.
Oh, yep. You're right. Don't need that. We do probably need to install some other stuff.
No.
I am going to make this easier on myself. I need cloud.google.com. So I don't have to.
I knew you could pop it out. I didn't know that URL worked. That's a new trick.
Yeah.
Should I make that a little bigger?
Please? I can make it bigger.
Thank you so much. Much appreciated.
Okay. And we can close this. Okay.
Yeah. See what happens.
Your session was
your sessions are now in the editor. Yeah.
Okay.
There's your terminal. There we
go.
No, your sessions are in with your editor tab. So if you click on up the top, right next to the pencil-looking thing, is a terminal thing.
Mm-hmm.
No, that tab. Hit the one next to it. There we go. They should be in there.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
We'll see what we got. So no module name back off. Well, that's because I haven't brought it in yet. So
also, do we need it?
Good point.
Do we need it? So we imported a bunch of stuff, but do we need it?
Well, this is we creating the process and parsing the documents.
Okay.
And then creating the data chunks. So we should, let's do this.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
Oops.
pip3.
Not pip3 again. Woo!
Okay.
Lots of satisfied requirements already.
Okay. So we try running it again, see what happens.
Yeah.
See what magic we get.
Port pandas is PD. No module named pandas.
We're just going to keep doing this until it works.
It's just dependency, just so much fun.
Oh, something's happening. Something's...
Could not find CUDA drivers on your machine. GPL would not be used. Okay.
I don't know if we care about that. Something failed.
Something failed. Service is disabled. So there's just some permissions that I got to
Was
set
there
up.
like an API? Was it an API that needed to be set up?
Yeah, I think so.
Like just can we just manually enable whatever the API was?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Oh, I see. It's got the command in there. Nice.
Enable.
Okay.
Yeah, we need the document AI APIs enabled.
Yeah.
And yeah.
You've got a couple of those already.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's see.
Fingers crossed.
Hey, we created a processor. Don't know what it does, but we have something.
Yeah, we did. We created a processor.
Cool.
All right. So now back here.
Look, at the very least, I figure if we can get to process some PDFs and get them in the database, we'll be like, okay, win.
We will. Yeah, that's exactly what we want. So now we have done this. So, all right. So now let's create the processor.
Yep. Process the documents.
Yeah.
All right. I think we can steal that. That seems pretty good.
Okay. And so
do you want to comment out that like creating processor thing, maybe? Because we don't really care if it runs. We don't really want it to run again. Even if it's just the like line 42 to 48 or something. It's hacky, but it'll still work.
Okay,
there's no keyboard command or like forward slash asterisk. I don't know how you comment in Python.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know how to do comments in I want to say like a markdown thing. What are those things called? Not the not an apostrophe, but the other one.
The
like 3 of those.
Yeah, is that what it takes?
Multi-line. Where's a multi-line comment? Oh, you can hash it. You can hash it. It is. Oh no, it's 3 apostrophes. We'll give you a multi-line, so you can wrap the whole thing in hashes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So multi-line is this.
Actual apostrophes. 3, 4.
Oh yeah, those are.
There we go.
Like I said,
we are Pythoning.
Okay.
All right, so that's not going to recreate this processor, but we have all the other information. All right, cool. All right, so now we need to, I guess, go through the files and process them. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so so we need the file path. this is all this definition. So where's the next step?
Layout to text. Loop through each PDF file. This looks about right.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a bunch of stuff in here. I have no idea what it means.
So what this is, if you already have a document AI processor in your project, assign the full processor resource name here. Identifying text, layout to text. That's just giving us things in the doc AI directory. We'll change the directory. Change the directory to impro docs. Okay. Processing file name. Layout text. Can also split chunks by page or blocks. So this is about chunking, which once again, we won't worry about it too much, but chunking is usually how you want to create the data that kind of goes together as best you can. So if your data is usually, I think, chunked in chunks that are like paragraph-ishes, kind of things, the way it's done, but like you can do it by page or by other blocks if that works better for you, the data you're sending to it. But because that's not our goal at this moment, we will go. So once again, this is this for loop asking it to process that. So we could run that and see what we get at this point. But it's not going to output anything. It's going to give us document chunks as a variable. So we could print document chunks. Print document chunks. Oh, oops. So we can run it now. Make sure. Processor is not defined. Oh, that's because before we created it, but just create this processor here. But okay, so what happened is we created a processor and it's here, but we need to, can we get processor?
I was going to say, can we just look up the name in like the console?
Yeah.
Or is it the same thing as what we gave it? Like the display name, processor display name is the same thing?
Yeah, like I'm just seeing if there's a way we can just, because we need a processor variable. So we need to like get the processor.
Or we just replace processor.name with a string and...
Yeah.
Could we just replace it with processor display name? Could we just replace that processor name with where we've got that processor display name? Would that just work?
We could try that.
Okay. We've got a processor name already.
Where was that line? That was 89.
89.
Processor name equals processor display name. Let's see if that works.
See if that works.
All right.
Or does it get some sort of magical fancy name?
Yeah.
But I guess we'll find out. It'll complain at us otherwise. Boom, boom.
What do we got here?
Permission
denied
on
on.
resource project my processor.
Okay.
Do we need an IAM permission?
Maybe. Let's
okay.
do something else before we get too far down this path.
Yeah.
Let's actually uncomment out this stuff and create a new processor. See
Well, do you have the history of the like if you go up in your terminal, does it have the name?
Where was it? It did have something, but this is where it had created a processor, and this was, so perhaps this, we can try that.
Okay. Oh yeah, there we go. That looks right. Okay, so it needs the fully qualified project location path, essentially.
Yeah, so
that looks good. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Give this a run.
And it actually does say that in the comment, right? Like if you have a processor, you have to put the fully qualified thing in there.
Yeah. So let's see. Okay, it was doing something for a moment.
Was it something about limit? I thought I saw
400 document pages exceeds the limit, 15. So we've got a page limit of 15.
So
let's look up the document AI. My processors. Hey, there it is.
Limits, document AI. Doesn't like you. I really can't find 400. It seems like everything seems to be 200. So it's like 400 seems better.
Yeah.
My suggestion for the very moment would probably be delete the file, and let's just process the stuff we have that's under that limit.
Okay. Okay. I don't know what's under that limit, but we'll see.
I have found a stack. Document AI processes. Okay, let answer to batch requests, which are asynchronous. Whenever this confusion comes in effect. Oh, there's an async client that I think will let you do it. Or maybe you can be like, hey, just process some of it. That's interesting. But this is Java code from like 2 years ago. Okay. Good question.
Okay, and
March pages doesn't seem like a lot, though. It's kind of interesting. Also, that it comes back as pages.
Yeah, it is very interesting, but Okay. All right, let's see if these three, I think these three might be short enough. I think.
So we'll find out. Cool.
Yep, except for this one, which has 34 pages. Darn it. Which one was that?
So that's really interesting. This is 400 document pages and this gets into 15. I think actually, okay, so synchronous requests. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so if I understand this right, for synchronous requests, it is a maximum of 15 pages. For batch processing, it is different and there are higher limits. So basically, if you don't want it to be like immediately come something back, but if you want to do it like in the background, you can. I don't know if we want to go down that rabbit hole, but it seems like that's what I'm reading at the very least.
Right.
I'm seeing 15 everywhere. Like, let's just get something working.
Yeah, let's get something working and we can improve. Okay, so
later on. Okay.
All right, great. We got it.
So we have a couple of things. What did we do anything with it, or we just parsed it and we were like, cool, we did stuff?
We just parsed it at this point.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, we just passed through each file.
Okay.
And processed the document, and we got the document chunks.
Nice. Okay.
So
nice. Okay, that's something at least.
Okay. So now we got the document chunks. Now what's next? So convert extracted data to a sorted data frame.
All right. I don't know what that means, but okay.
Okay.
That in theory should just work.
Yeah. That's small enough that I'm gonna let that go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take that and now each row in chunks contains a list of all the chunks, so we need to explode them into individual rows.
I'm not sure how we take this and put it
into the database.
Into the database's embeddings, but
yeah, so
I'm not sure.
Right now we've just got the chunks of text.
Yeah.
So now we need to turn those chunks of text into things that are gonna go in our database, which is the vectors. So we haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
Now this is where we actually start to take the model and get the embeddings from them. So is down here. So we'll need to get the Vertex AI. And we'll initialize it. And did I set project ID up here somewhere?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, but I didn't. I did it with lowercase, so. Okay. And now we want to import the models. And so this is getting the generation model, which is going to generate, this is what's going to generate text afterwards, but getting the embeddings is here. So.
Oh, interesting. So I'll ask a question because I continue what you're doing, but
yeah.
So I was working with, and I think we maybe saw that in the other code lab, such that within, so when we were doing stuff on AlloDB, we could embed the models. No, let me do it. We could register the models inside AlloDB itself. so we could generate embeddings within AlloyDB on data sets that we already existed. Which is super cool. And so now I'm starting to see why that exists, which actually is super nice. Because it means we don't have to write Python code to generate embeddings. Once it's part of the database, we can just do it all in line immediately there.
Right.
Can we do that in MySQL? Can we do a similar thing in MySQL, or is that a limitation of vectors within MySQL?
That I don't know.
Okay.
What I didn't find anything that seemed like that in MySQL. It looked like it was all separate bits of the same thing.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is what I'm seeing, I think, in your doc as well, which is like you can generate a vector embedding for any given rows data by using a text embedding API such as Vertex AI or OpenAI. Got it. And I'm also looking at, I think, exactly the same thing. They use Python to actually create the embeddings and then store the embeddings in a table. Exactly what you're doing here. Okay. I see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So this is in some ways, I kind of wish I'd done this with you first before I did this with Gleb yesterday, because now I finally understand this is painful.
Right. And this is why I wanted to do it, because I needed to see how painful it is.
This is painful, but yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it was like a walk in the park with like the LODB stuff, though it is definitely much easier than this. Yeah, like way easier. Oh my God. Yeah. So if anyone hasn't watched the second one, what is cool is that you can call out to something like Vertex, or we actually did OpenAI as well in the live stream, so that you could and Gleb actually generated embeddings off custom text within that process. So it would actually probably would have been a process of doing something, probably maybe PDF. Actually, I don't know whether or not Alloy and Postgres will let you pull in like data for externally on PDFs, but I'm at this point just assuming Postgres can do anything. But you might write some Python to import all your PDF data as text and do some like OCI stuff like what we have here. But then once you're in there, generating those embeddings is way easier. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is a nightmare.
PDF.
If you, all right, I'm just looking at our time. We're at 5:17. We probably should finish up in about 13 minutes. If you manage to get this embedded, I'll actually be really impressed.
Yeah, me too. So I'm trying to look at what this PDF data sample thing is doing here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Which is taking these chunks.
And they're using the Gecko embedding model, which is one of the models that's available. I actually recognize that from when we were doing the stuff with Alloy yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I think Gecko 3 is what we used last time. But anyway, not that it 100% matters at this point.
Okay.
But oh my gosh. Yeah. Wow. This is a lot.
Yeah, this is a lot.
Like, how would you do this without this kind of step through? Like,
yeah. I mean,
okay.
Still haven't gotten anything into the database yet. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
Not even.
I mean, the theory, like the good thing is, I feel like once you get this embedding data out, now you're in MySQL land. You're like, okay, give me MySQL client and just insert this data in the appropriate spots in the database.
Right.
That's fun.
What are we doing here? So this next part came down. We had to initialize Vertex AI. And then they get the models. And then we're just defining these methods. And then here we're rating the embedding equals PDF data sample embedding that applied MP that array. Let's see what we're going. Oh, we got an error. Okay. On 178. Type error. Unsupported text embedding input, not a number. Okay. Or NaN. Okay. So we are, of course, running through something. I wonder if we have anything. Where is text here? So we have.
I didn't catch where that failed.
So it looked like it failed here. It got unsupported text embedding input type text, but it's like inside of an object.
Oh,
So
it
I
says
wonder.
unsupported text embedding input type nan.
Yeah, so not a number, though that's lowercase, not a number.
Okay, and that failed on line 174?
Yeah,
Something
so
else.
that's here. So it gets here. So X here. Where does X come from? This is an apply.
This is where I do not know how Python works.
Yeah,
I am
this
wondering
is.
if your specific types of data is giving back some result that it doesn't like.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering as well. So
Can we like print out what X is on each line or something?
yeah. Let's see. If
I don't know enough about how lambdas work in Python.
Yeah, neither do I. So I would guess that we've got this parameter here. Let's do this. Print X. Well, it might help if I do this, yes. And let's see what we end up with now.
Okay. Oh.
So these just
we didn't get an error.
Didn't get an error because we didn't do the thing that we were erroring before. These are just the chunks.
Okay.
So that's what is there. So that
looks fine.
Yeah, it looks fine indeed. So something about this as an array of X. So,
unless there's like somehow it's ended up with like some blank sections or something.
Right.
It doesn't like that. Is there an easy way of like trimming those out in Python or something? I don't know.
Like if X.
I have no idea at this point.
Yeah, neither do I. So we would go down here and X. So
I feel like that if needs to be tabbed in a bit further.
Yeah, probably. They always do. But
something. No, it really doesn't look like it.
Doesn't look like that's doing it.
Something to do with a lambda. I don't know how lambdas work.
I don't either. This is like I said, do not code in Python. So it's always single line. Can I do anything?
Yeah, it's not quite what we want.
Yeah.
No, I guess expression only, so it's no statement. It has to be single line. does not help. Huh.
Well, well, geez. Embeddings equal return. So all the chunks apply. X is the chunk. Embedding model with backoff. And embedding model with backoff is here, which is text as that, and then the embeddings return.
That apply looks different. Oh no, does it?
Which apply?
No, sorry. In 23, I was reading it badly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, what?
I have no idea.
And this actually is just getting the.
We're just getting the embedding so we can stick it in the database.
Yeah. And we didn't get there.
So I will ask a different question so far.
Okay.
If you had your choice of databases, would you go down this path again?
What it sounds like, from what you've said and what I was looking at, is the more tools that are already integrated with the thing, with the database, I would much rather go with that. The less extra work I have to do.
Yeah.
I would just like to sort of tell it, these are my documents, and like have some tool that can parse and output vectors somehow. So okay, this was oh, well, that's interesting. I got a different, I totally changed the input, but it seems 250 instances allows per prediction, actual 619. That's interesting. So it was just changing this to being the text seems to have done something, but once again, we're running into a limitation of probably doing the synchronous processing.
Yeah. You're using the Vertex AI language models? I was just in memory.
Yes, I am using Vertex AI language models.
Got it. I'm just looking at that one you had before. There was where is it? You don't have it open right now. There was a document that you had with work with vector embeddings. Their example looks easier. Not this one. Just for getting embeddings, it's literally like text embedding model from pre-trained. They're using Gecko 001, and like they're just like, here's my. Rather than like, what was I going to say? So rather than, they didn't do a lot of this the putting in the datagram kind of stuff.
Right.
They just did here. I'll send you a link. Private chat it so I don't have to take a rescreen. Have a look at that section.
Generate vector embeddings based on, let's pull this up on the regular screen for folks.
That doesn't look half bad, because we have an array of strings, right? So in theory, I don't know why we're doing the lambda stuff and whatnot. That seems like a lot, but maybe I'm missing something. Maybe that's necessary for translating
Yeah.
values.
So we want to get text embeddings. We want to get a list. So let's try and do that. So let's go back here. Let's do.
Unless there's something in there about how to get.
This is just getting the embeddings for this sentence. What is life?
Right, exactly. But I mean, like
So what we need to do is.
Oh, so I assume like 178 to like 180 is converting the chunks that we got from document AI, or the chunks of stuff, into basically an array of strings that can then get passed in to into there. But like, why? Yeah, why is that so hard? That seems like if we have an array, PDF sample data chunks, is that just an array of data? Can we just pass that in and just call it a day? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But we may just be at time, unfortunately, I think.
Yeah, we might have to be at time, but let's see. To do PDF sample data, we are right here. No, we want PDF data sample chunks. So let's see if we can go.
You want to just go PDF sample chunks and just drop that into where it says what is life?
Yeah.
Go on. That's a good final. Let's give it a shot, and then just delete all the other stuff or whatever you want to do.
Yeah. So we're gonna get embedding PDF data sample chunks, and since that's looking like that's, we're just gonna do one there.
Okay.
And
Give me something.
Give me something here. Oops, we want on three.
Oh, this is doing like all kinds of like resource management. Oh yeah, well, all right.
Okay, so we're going to see how we do here. All right, last thing we're going to try.
Oh, did we call that function? I don't know if we called that function.
Do we call that? No, we don't. Turn vector. And we'll just go text embedding. There we go.
Okay.
Called. Ready? Here we go. Let's get one embedding out of this.
All I want is one embedding.
Well, because once we get one embedding, we can grow. Yay! So length of embedding vector 768. So
don't know which one it is, but it's fine. We have something for something.
Yes.
All right. Cool. Takeaways from this. I mean, it sounds like you can do this in MySQL if it's MySQL that you're using. It quite potentially is a bit more work, is what it looks like.
And
to
it
me.
Seems like when I started this whole process, I was looking at it, working with vector embeddings. This section, these are all in preview. So this might just be that Postgres has
it's been doing it longer.
It's been doing it longer.
Yeah.
So they're a little bit further, or maybe I'm just looking at the wrong stuff. So who knows? Because here's a whole thing for doing the same stuff with Postgres.
Wow, that is a shorter page.
So
click on generate. Go back to Postgres for me. Just to go real quick. Click on generate embedding over on the right where it says generate an embedding. I just want to see
select
embedding. Scroll down. Keep going. Yeah, generate. Yeah, that's the line. That's what we were doing last time. That's how easy it was to create the embedding.
Yeah,
that looks nicer. That looks nicer.
That's like, this is what I'm doing. So I've got my text now. So, but what we did have to do beforehand of all that work to get the chunks.
Yeah,
that is definitely the thing. But this is so there's the whole pre-processing that took us some time to figure out.
Yeah,
how we would do that using document AI. Which is all this stuff, breaking it into, doing the OCR, breaking it into chunks. and going there. And then, so yeah.
Okay, but we learned stuff. We did some nice comparative analysis, essentially, of different Cloud SQL products for doing vector analysis. So that's not the end of the world. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you just got to get the thing.
I just want to see. I have one more thing. I actually want to print the vector. I don't want to just see the length of the vector. I want to print the vector.
All right, get going then.
It's not smart, but I mean, it's just going to be a bunch of numbers. But I'll feel better if I see a bunch of numbers.
If you see a bunch of numbers, there we go.
Yeah.
Didn't matter. We touched the database a bit. I think we touched the database enough that we can consider this.
There we go. There's all the.
That's a lot of numbers.
Yeah, a lot of floating point beauty. Okay.
Fantastic.
Well, anybody who's stuck with us through all of this, I have got to say thank you for that.
That's good. All right. No. Well, Daryl, thank you so much for joining me. This has been a pleasure and a joy to go on this adventure with you.
Yeah. So now I'm like, gosh darn it. Now I'm going to have to, now my brain's just going to say, I can't do anything until I figure out how to make this work.
I'm sure you can make this work. I'm sure you
can. I'm sure I can. So
I believe in you. Fantastic. Daryl, if people want to find you on the internet, where should they go?
They can right here in my name. You can just go to linkedin.bio/spoilerdiacra. And that has both my professional and personal links online. Easiest thing to do is just go there. And pretty much I'm everywhere online as Spoiler Diacra. So look that up.
Fantastic. People want to find me. I don't know why, but if you do, there's my link tree below, linktree/Mark Mandel, which is my name, which links to everything that I am pretty much everywhere.
There are two other Daryl Ducharme spelled the same way, so I can't necessarily do that. One of them's an actor. So
there you go.
I already get in his way enough. So
there's other Mark Mandels out there. They do other stuff. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. All right, fantastic. Well, Daryl, like I said, thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who is hanging out with us through the stream. Don't forget to like and subscribe. There is a registration form floating around too if you want calendar invites for the 6-part series. We've still got another 3 to go, so keep an eye out for those. We will be skipping a week. I think it's there's a public holiday and I forgot what it is, but we can look that up. But otherwise, it will be every week.
Are we skipping Juneteenth?
Juneteenth. That's what we're missing. That's exactly it. Exactly it. All right, wonderful. Well, Daryl, thank you so much, and I'll
thank you, everybody.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.